and welcome to Feeding the Soul with Mirthell. Today, we are going to be fixing Indian curry with basmati rice. So let's get started because my family's hungry. Now that we have that done, let's meet our guest. Hey Elaine, what's going on?
Hey Mirthell, what's going on?
It's nice to see you guys on Zoom. Elaine and her husband Jevin and her kids, they're like our best friends, so they're always coming over. But during COVID, of course, we haven't had a lot of opportunities to connect, but Zoom we do connect on. So it's good to have you on, Elaine.
It's good to be on. This is fun. I'm excited to be here with you.
All right, so this is Elaine, but you will know her as Dr. Elaine Vanterpool. She is the chair of the Biology Department at Oakwood University. And Elaine is just a brilliant, brilliant person, so intelligent, and is so efficient when it comes to things of science and infectious diseases. She has a great grasp of those things like that. And she is the doctor of doctors. And I say that because she has produced so many doctors, so many efficient doctors in the world that have gone on to great universities and gone on to do great things in the world. And so it is really a privilege to be your friend, Elaine, and it's a privilege to have you on our show.
Thank you so much, Mirthell. Thank you.
So today, I just want to introduce you to my audience. Elaine is a great friend. Her and her husband are best friends, and we really appreciate them. How we met, like 20 odd years ago, first of all, right? I don't think I saw you around campus. We never really talked when we were all going to Oakwood University. But 20 odd years ago, I knew Elaine and I knew Jevin. We didn't know each other that well though, right? I mean, like we saw each other on campus, but you were in my wife's class, right?
Yeah, so your wife, Rita, she came in with me at the same time in the late 1990s.
Right. Doesn't that sound so old? The 1990s.
No, we're old school. But yeah, we're in the same biology class. And I remember I would say hi here and there to Rita. We weren't like close friends, but several years ago, it was really nice running into you all at church.
I know. That was such a surprise to see you guys. And I knew Jevin probably a little bit more than I had known you because Jevin was kind of like in my circles with the Canadians. His sister-in-law?
Yes.
Yeah, his sister-in-law was dating his brother at the time, and then they got married. And so I kind of knew them because his sister-in-law's sister is really good friends with my sister. So yeah, it's all of that. But there was a lot of Canadian connections. And so yes. I knew Jevin. So when I saw Jevin and you, and Rita knew you and I knew Jevin, I was just like, oh man, we got to get together. And then here we are,
I remember you with your hairnet on your head. Right. Working in the, at the snack bar with your.
Right, exactly. It's amazing. And now our families are like the best of friends. Your girls text my girls and, and it's really great. It's really great.
Yeah, we're more like family right now. So that's really good.
I agree.
So Mirthell, you are the ultimate chef.
Thanks.
I just need to know, what are you cooking in the kitchen today? You're making me hungry. I want to know.
So yeah, I know, because usually me and Elaine, we'll pair up, and whenever our families get together, you're cooking the meat option, I'm usually cooking the vegetarian option, and then we pull it all together. So I'm on my own today in the kitchen. I felt for some Indian curry and kind of masala, a little bit of mutter paneer with mushrooms and green peas. I'm gonna fix it the East Indian style as opposed to the West Indian style of curry, but that's what I'm fixing today.
Yes, and make sure you fix me a plate so I can just come and pick it up.
Exactly. We do a drive-by and just come and pick it up. So anyhow, so that's what I'm fixing today, Elaine. But what about you? What do you got cooking in the kitchen? Because I know that you're constantly doing something with your students. You're constantly doing something in the lab. What do you have going on that you'd like to share?
Well, I just want to say that once, thank you again for having me on here. But what I want to talk about is the importance of diversifying the biomedical field. I'm here at Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama. That is an HBCU. And you know that because you came to this.
Exactly. That's our alma mater.
Right. And so, I just want to talk about the importance of actually diversifying this field of science and of medicine and dentistry. I really want to talk about this. It has been a real burden on me because, in the field of STEM, minorities are so underrepresented. If you want to look at African Americans, it's even bumped down even further, less than 2%. That is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and studies show that the outcome of minorities being educated in that field really does help them and help the community, their community in the future. Because a lot of times minorities don't get as good of a treatment in the healthcare system.
Yeah.
It's sad, and we see that a lot of times it's those minority doctors that will go out and reach these students. So it is really my passion. I really make it my mission here to educate as many Black students on the undergraduate level to propel them on. And I'm telling you, God has been blessing. I just want to say that. So I don't know if you saw recently on the WHNT news down here, even is an article on intelligence list that the biology program at Oakwood was ranked the best program for small colleges at Oakwood University. Yeah, biology. I was like,
and and hey, kudos to you, Elaine, because you are the woman. You are the woman.
Man, it's been tough.
I'm proud of what you've been able to build.
Yeah, and we also consistently rank in the top 15 for matriculating African Americans in medical school. Right now, we ranked 11. So we rank pretty high. We're ranking with other schools. And for HBCUs, we rank 4th amongst the small HBCUs for best STEM programs, right? So I'm really excited about that.
That is great. So what are some of the ways that you've been able to bring up the biology department so that you guys are ranking so high? Like, what are some of the techniques that you have used? I mean, I know that a lot of people have talked to me even personally, and I've heard through the grapevine, just your approach, you're very personable. It's like when the students come back, they tend to come by your house, they tend to come by your office. So I know for a fact that you develop a really strong relationship with the students to ensure that each one gets through. I know you've come to us sometimes and says, hey, Mirthell, Rita, is it possible if you could take on this student and help them financially? So you're so in there. I love it. You're just like, it's like you're a mother to all these doctors. But tell me a little bit beyond that, like in the biology department, like what have you done to build it up so that it would be so successful?
I tell my students, one, I'm your mother outside your mother. They know that. But I'm not an island. I am very blessed to have awesome faculty and staff working with me.
Wonderful.
We are very family oriented, and every student that comes in, we just want to take them in. It's not just a biology program where they come in and they take classes and we advise them. It's a lot more than that. When they come in, we actually employ our students from freshman year. For those, we can't force them, but a lot of them get employed and they work under at least one of the faculty members in the department. And that has a benefit because once they are working, they have a mentor, which is the faculty member. Then the upperclassmen students that are working with them, they also serve as like a peer mentor.
Oh, I
So
like that.
they have a family network going on. And so when it comes for advisement, career advisement, just general life questions or whatever they have a support network. So not only are they getting financial, benefits from working with us, and they have like a family, but they're also gaining skills, that they need for the workforce. So some of the jobs that we have is like office assistant, teacher's assistant, laboratory assistant. So they're learning skills, they're training, they're working with students. And we see that those that really engage in that, they have these amazing skills and they're highly competitive.
Wow.
When they start applying. Another thing that we do, our department, we have pretty much all scientists. I'm a scientist. And we also have an MD in our program, in our department. And so we do research, whether it's clinical research or biomedical research, and we get the students doing research as well, because it's important that they learn, these skills, they learn these techniques. It also helps build their critical thinking skills. A lot of our students, they gain these skills when they apply to summer programs, which we tend to write recommendations for, they get in. And, other things that's really important.
That's great. I love the collaborative approach that you come to it with. I really love how you're integrating students, you're integrating some community professionals, doctors, then of course the faculty and staff at Oakwood as well. All of them are competent, working together to create a family and a support system so that it ensures that the students that come are successful. So what is the success rate like when somebody enrolls at Oakwood under your tutelage? What is the success rate? Because I know you guys do everything to get them financially cleared, to get them, placement, everything. What is your success rate right now?
As you know, we have national rankings, right? Just in a nation. Mm-hmm. We are the largest department. We have a lot of students. We have some students that take gap year, but usually around 50% of our students directly matriculate into a graduate or professional program.
Wow.
Then the remainder of them try to take a gap year, because gap year is quite interesting right now. And then some of them enter the workforce. We have a pretty high success rate of our students going in, and we turn out public servants. And that's what we need to do in our profession. It is public servant. At Oakwood, we know it's mounted right on the front. And to depart to serve.
Depart to serve. That's right. I remember that motto very well. So you're not only doing that on a very broad scale as a profession, but personally, within your own family, there is just so many doctors. So your husband, has his own PhD and a profession in his own right. Tell us a little bit about Jevin, what he does. Tell us a little bit about your son, what he's about to do. I mean, the Vanterpools have their own clinic in this neighborhood where they're all doctors or working in the lab, so there's just so many great things happening within your family. Share just a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I would love to do that. So, my husband is the best. You know that.
All right.
So, he was at Oakwood, he overlapped with us. He went to graduate school with me. We went to Loma Linda University in California. Love Loma Linda. Awesome school. So I went down the route of PhD in microbiology and molecular genetics, but my husband, he was really adventurous. And got his PhD in physiology. That is tough stuff, right? So he actually has his expertise in like neuropharmacology, and he is a physiologist. I'm microbial pathogenesis, the germ stuff, this whole COVID stuff.
That's you.
But right now, what he does, he's a medical lab director for a high complexity lab. And he also is a professor at another HBCU locally, Alabama A&M University. And he also has that same passion to help. So he's a physiologist, but what he does for a career, he's actually a medical lab director, high complexity medical lab director. And he is also one of the professors at another local HBCU, Alabama A&M University. He also has that same passion and drive to educate those that want to become medical doctors and health professionals and scientists. Very easy, very intelligent.
And your son, so and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to build a lot of inspiration to the demographics that you were talking about, because in the STEM area of STEM, there's just so little, but in your one family, it's highly represented. And so you guys are an example that it is very possible. So your son, he's graduating and he's
Yes.
about to go into what?
Yeah, so he is graduating from Oakwood Adventist Academy, and he's coming to Oakwood University, and he is doing a bachelor's in biology with a concentration in biomedical engineering, and he's minoring in computer science. Yeah, what he wants to do, he's more so very hands-on, and he has a passion for helping those that really need help, right? And so he's looking at creating devices to help those that maybe lost limbs, or prosthetics and orthotics that can interface with individuals that have lost limbs, or tissue regeneration. He's looking at like quality of life. So he wants to head down that area. And he's also thinking about creating devices to use in the medical setting. You know how they have the robotic surgery, right? So he wants to go down that area, and that's what he can do. And he likes that kind of stuff.
That's amazing. And that's exactly what you're talking about. So you're doing it on a personal level, you're doing it on a professional level. You're just all around really passionate about this area. And that's great to see. It's great to feel it's your passion. So Elaine, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, their child was interested in going to Oakwood and being a doctor, is there a site or a website or contact information that the audience could be able to connect with you?
Yes, absolutely. So our website is www.oakwood.edu. You can find out a lot about Oakwood University. We have a lot of different majors, even though STEM is one of the largest areas. Our department is one of the larger ones. If you're interested in science, you have a child that's interested in science, they can contact me directly at evanterpool@oakwood.edu.
Do you have anything for like even younger kids, like any programs to kind of like gear the younger ones into those fields?
Yes. Well, we do right now, we're trying to set up some kind of virtual tutoring for those in the community. We have things set for local students, right? My students, they work with the community children to help build the STEM curriculum, like Oakwood Academy, which is down here. But if there is a child that needs help, K through 12, my students, they're always willing to help those in the community. If someone wants to reach out to me saying my child needs help, I can definitely find one of my students that can partner up with those individuals to maybe provide some tutorial services that's needed.
That is awesome. So Elaine, we're going to have this information out for my audience, but as we come to a close, because I got to get back to the cooking, but if we come to a close, I have this question for you. How do you feed your soul?
I feed my soul by just having fun with my kids and my family. I turn off, all this professional responsibility when I'm with my family, whether it's watching a movie with them, watching Netflix, just having fun, or just talking to them.
Right. Family is so important. And I agree with that. That's why I have to go and feed my family and feed their souls. And I'm so glad that you're able to join us. Thank you so much, Elaine. And I'm looking forward to having you on again, maybe your husband on next time. But anyhow, you take care. I know that you're a busy woman having a lot of things to do. Really appreciate you coming on my show. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Mirthell.
All right, take care.
Save me some food.
I will. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, I think the food is ready. Let's take a look. Thank you so much for joining me on Feed the Soul with Mirthell, where I tell the story, feed the soul, make them laugh, heal the heart. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time.